Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Barrett. I've been a personal stylist for 25 years now. I help people like you build capsule wardrobes that mix and match easily. I am also a huge advocate of supporting confidence and people taking up space, particularly as we age and we get shoved into the background. Don't do it, just don't do it. I just want to say before I go on that I've really enjoyed receiving all your lovely comments. Honestly, they genuinely mean so much to me and I reply to every single one of them. So keep it coming, like, subscribe, tell your friends, set it up so you get alerts when I've got new videos coming out, because all of that really helps me bring content to you. And I also use your comments, I make notes from your comments for future content. Today's video is based on a comment or a few comments that I've received about gaining weight around your middle. It's really common to gain weight around that area, particularly around post having children, middle age, and around the time of the menopause. So I don't want that to knock your confidence. So today, that is exactly what we're going to talk about. The best ways to disguise that area so that you feel a little bit more confident with it. So throughout this video, I'm going to show you lots of images of different outfits that I think would work really well if you're trying to disguise your tummy. It will be in different cuts, different colours, patterns, etc. So you can visually see, because I know that's really important to you guys because you've told me that, you can visually see exactly what I'm talking about. So there are kind of three main ways that we can help hide that little tummy area if you're kind of not very comfortable with it. The first one is by using colour, the second one is by using fabric, and the third one is by using the type of cut of clothes that you're wearing. So I'm going to go through each one of those today. I also want to talk to you about the common mistakes that I see people make, predominantly where someone maybe gets a little bit of tummy weight and they start wearing really baggy clothes, because all that does is add bulk. So first we're going to look at fabrics. So fabric that you wear can make a huge difference in how it sits on your body. Now, just to give you a heads up, one of the worst types of fabrics that you could possibly wear around your middle area, if you've got a bit of a tummy and you're trying to disguise it, is like a stretch satin that clings. Because all that will do, and particularly if it's in a light or bright colour, so if you wore it in like bright pink or bright yellow or white or something like that, I promise you that will stand out so much more. Because what it does, there's kind of several things that are going on here. The first thing that's going on is that the light hits your stomach, or it hits anywhere on your body where you're wearing that satin, and it enhances it. If you think about how satin looks in the light, you can kind of see the shapes, you can see the wrinkles in the fabric, because it kind of reflects the light. So we want to really avoid that in that area if that is what you're trying to do. So avoid anything like satin. Another fabric that isn't great in that area as well is, and actually this applies with the satin, it applies to any type of sort of, not necessarily satin, but that's the most common one. It applies to any type of fabric that's got kind of a shine to it, that's quite stretchy and fitted. It will do it every time, and particularly, like I say, if it's light colours. But another fabric that does it with as well is like that kind of velour fabric as well. Again, that can kind of cling and really enhance those areas. Another fabric that's not great is a really thin kind of lightweight stretched jersey. The best way I can describe that to you is to think about t-shirts and think about leggings. Now, we've all seen those leggings going down the street where they're stretched over someone's bottom and you can see their knickers and you can see everything. Now, sometimes people are probably happy with that, and I always say, if you're happy with the way you look, you're happy with the way you look. But if that's not what you're trying to do and you're not trying to enhance that area, then I suggest you avoid those really thin jersey fabrics. Now, some jersey fabrics have a bit of a heavier weight, and obviously it depends what climate you live in, depends what the season's like, but a heavier jersey can sometimes work, and actually can quite commonly work, if it has, if it's slightly further away from the body. So my kind of key word here is skim the body. So what we want is that jersey fabric just skimming the body, not clinging to it, not drowning, not hanging off your bust, but just skimming the body. Now, the best options that you can choose for the tummy area in terms of fabric is matte fabrics. Now, they tend to be generally, not right across the board, but they tend to be the more natural fabrics. So think your cotton and your linen, for example. So something that might work really well is a dark, maybe navy blue cotton t-shirt or top or linen top, because what that does is, if you think about linen, you think about cotton, you don't see, particularly if it's dark, if it's navy or black or charcoal grey or something like that, or even like a bottle green or a dark red, it doesn't matter what colour it is, whatever the colours work for you. If you need help with your colours, by the way, book in for a consultation to me. I'm really loving seeing your faces. Genuinely, I've had some lovely chats with some of you. Yeah, so look at matte fabrics like cotton and the ones that kind of absorb the light and they don't reflect it. Because if you think about it, just when you look at, and the best way to do this is, like I said earlier, really, if you think about fabrics when they hit the light and how the creases, how well you can see the creases. With a satin, you can see them really easily, but with a cotton, it's less kind of defined, and that is key. That is what you want to try. Sorry, I got distracted then. A lady with lovely pink hair just went past. So yeah, that is what you want to try and have in that area, because it will be so much better, and it will kind of then just skim over that area and not kind of cling to it and enhance it. Now, next up, I want to talk to you about colours and patterns. Now, because that can make a big difference as well. Now, I sort of briefly said this before, but essentially, one of the best ways you could do this, and this is quite an important one, is wear darker colours on areas you're trying to kind of disguise, because it tends to sit back in the eye, and brighter, lighter colours on areas you're happy with. So it could be that if you've got a bit of a tummy, maybe you wear a top that's kind of light on the top and darker on the bottom, or you wear a complete dark top underneath, maybe with a lighter jacket that kind of falls down your body in a line all the way down, because what that does is it draws the eye downwards, and your kind of tummy will kind of set back from that. And then maybe you wear lighter pants, but essentially try and go for darker colours on that tummy area. Darker matte colours work best. Now, the other thing that you can do is patterns. Now, sometimes patterns can kind of be really distracting. I wouldn't go for anything too bright if I was you. I would go for something, again, in those kind of darker shades, but a darker pattern could work really well as well, because it kind of then confuses the eye a little bit as well, and it kind of, again, like I said before, what we're trying to do is we're trying to not enhance that shape, you know, the shape of your tummy coming out. So with a pattern, it kind of confuses the eye as well, but definitely go for darker patterns. I wouldn't go for anything bright or light or, hello, look, here's a tummy, you know, that kind of thing. Keep it kind of quite dark and quite muted, because what we're trying to do is set that back. But again, the pattern can kind of quite confuse. It can be quite good, particularly if it's like I'd say a medium to big pattern. So finally, I wanted to talk to you about the cut. Now, again, this is really, really important. The biggest mistake I see people make, and actually, it's partly the industry is to blame as well, I think, personally, that some of the clothes that they produce for people who are kind of plus size or you know, just even slightly bigger are just awful, in my humble opinion. But anyway, so that is partly to blame. But the first thing that people tend to do, if they have a little bit of a tummy, they're like, oh, you know, I just want to hide it. So what they'll do is they'll buy something that's baggy, that hangs straight off their bust and straight the way down. That's one of the worst things you can do. Now, the reason for that is because it just makes you look straight up and down, like what I would call like an ingot. So it's kind of literally body shape that goes straight up and down. There's no shape. Now, what we want to try and do is give you shape, but without kind of clinging to that tummy area. And one of the best ways that you can do that is an empire line. Now, an empire line comes underneath your bust here and goes all the way down, all the way around. Now, it doesn't mean to say, I know some of you have said to me, oh, that doesn't feel right. But what that does is it comes in under the bust. Another thing as well, get a really good bra fitting. That's really important too, because it lifts and separates kind of from your tummy, because then you don't get that kind of complete look where it goes straight the way down. But empire line tops work really well. Sometimes they're in like a tunic style. V-necks work really well as well because they kind of draw the eye all the way down the body. Now, what you can also do is get, and I'll see if I can find some images of this to show you, but where you can get tops where they've got like a band that goes around here. Now, what you want when you see that is something that then gently flares out from that area over. So what that does is it skims over your tummy. Now, this could be in a dress as well. So an empire line, like that sort of line that comes around here, comes in a V, and then kind of gently flares out, because that then takes attention away from your tummy, but it also brings you in and gives you a bit of definition and shape, which works really, really well. Another big mistake that I see happen quite a lot is really, really bulky fabrics. I think like really bulky knitwear, or those really fluffy kind of fleeces, or puffer jackets. All of that is not good for you. Now, I know some of you will live in cold or climates that have seasonal climates, and it will be cold some time of the year. It's the same here. So what I'd suggest you do in that instance is look at kind of particularly man-made fabrics. They are usually a little bit more expensive, like merino wool and cashmere, etc. But if you can, buy it pre-loved. Because usually you can get more warmth out of a thinner fabric for that. So in those instances, just try and avoid those really bulky fabrics because it just adds bulk. Now, something that works really well, and I will also try and show you an image of this as well if I can find something, is a jacket that's kind of maybe to about your knee or just above your knee, or a coat similar. Also, always go for single-breasted. Don't go for double-breasted because it adds bulk here. So always go for single-breasted. So a jacket that has a lapel, or has like, it could be that it has a Nero collar. Now, Nero collar is, if you don't know what a Nero collar is, like that's, I've got like a normal collar there. That is like a Nero collar. You know, when you just see it, it's just got the collar stand, that's like a Nero collar. A Nero collar coat with maybe sort of some sort of feature or trimming that runs all the way down the front of it here is really good as well, particularly if it's in a lighter, brighter, more fancy colour than you wearing something dark underneath. So let's say you've got an empire line navy blue top underneath, and you've got a pair of jeans, and then over the top of that you wear this lighter type of coat, because that cuts the body up and it sets those darker colours set back from the eye, so it naturally it kind of takes attention away from your tummy, and all the attention goes on the coat. Now, I know some of you probably won't be that interested in having something that's really bright and maybe patterned even, but just go as kind of as light or as kind of bright as feels comfortable for you, because what we want to do is draw the attention to that outside bit and away from your tummy. Another way you can do it is with jewellery. If you've got really long jewellery, or if you've got a really long scarf, nothing that kind of sits by your tummy but kind of draws the eye down. So you're kind of having this line going down your body. It works really, really well. In addition, avoid all these kind of very masculine, oversized cuts that are about at the moment, because it just adds width and bulk that you just don't want. So avoid all of that. I am really pleased to see that that whole trend is finally leaving, because I just think it's the most ridiculous trend. It's a personal opinion, but I don't think it suits anybody. So I'm really pleased to see that go, but avoid all of that. Another kind of cut that works really well for you, will work really well for you, is kind of wrap cuts. Now, I know some of you will say to me, oh, but my boobs are too big and it feels kind of too much. In that instance, just wear a little bit of a V, or a little bit of a vest or a camisole underneath, just to kind of put something inside that little V so it doesn't feel too revealing there. That can work in dresses, particularly if it's like a wrap dress that comes around here, ties at the side, then gently flares out from that kind of that band underneath your bust. That works really well. The other types of tops that work really well are the ones that sometimes they have like a faux wrap to them, so like a fake wrap, and it kind of comes across the body, and you can see sort of rolls of material that go across the body there. And sometimes that you can get that in swimwear as well. That works really well because again it draws the eye across the body, and it also disguises your tummy a little bit as well. So I hope you found that helpful. Keep the comments coming, keep it coming. Let me know what you want to see, because I promise you I listen. Like I said today, my last few videos have all been based on what you've been telling me. So I definitely make notes and I definitely do it. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. And if you really need help with your wardrobe, I'd love to see your face. I'm really enjoying meeting so many of you at the moment. It's just fabulous. Yeah, book in for a consultation with me and we can have a little chat about how I might be able to help you. So have a wonderful day wherever you are. Stay strong, stay happy, stay confident. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.